Hi, my name's Freddy Vinehill-Cliffe and I'm the product specialist for NUGEN Audio. Today I'm going to talk about building a new reverb space using Paragon. If you like what you see, please check out the rest of the NUGEN YouTube channel for more similar content created by me and my colleague Tom Griffin. Right now, this video is exclusive for NAMM attendees, although it will be made public at a later date. So let me tell you a little bit about Paragon. Paragon is a true convolution reverb. That means the plugin generates its reverb from impulse response recordings of real spaces. Unlike an algorithmic reverb, which uses, you've guessed it, an algorithm to generate artificial reverb. Painting in very broad strokes, convolution reverb tends to sound more realistic, but algorithmic reverb usually offers more flexibility for the user. One of the unique things about Paragon is that it uses state-of-the-art technology to give that same level of flexibility while still maintaining the realism of a convolution reverb, and that's because it is a convolution reverb plugin. We worked alongside Dr. Jez Wells at the University of York to create this unique convolution method. Essentially, every time you make a significant change to the reverb, Paragon generates an entirely new impulse response by decomposing and resynthesizing the original. With a traditional convolution reverb, this wouldn't be possible. If you adjust the reverb decay time in a traditional convolution reverb, generally those plugins will use a method like time stretching to change the sound of the static impulse response, which can obviously cause unwanted artifacts. In Paragon, you're generating a new impulse response which maintains the authentic character of the original reverb. Paragon is able to operate in up to 712 channels of surround audio, but today I'm working in stereo. Now, with that preamble out of the way, let's create a new reverb space. More specifically, what I mean is that I'm going to show you how to put together a new reverb sound from scratch by loading in one of our modelled impulse responses and then tweaking and catering it to suit your needs. I made a similar video for Imsterfester not long ago demonstrating this technique on spoken dialogue, and you can find that video over on the Imster YouTube channel. Today, because it's NAMM, I'll be demonstrating the same thing on rock drums. This is a track called Pier and Loft by a post-rock band called Loro, by the way. So, this is Paragon. What you're seeing here is version 1, but 1.1 is also on the horizon. 1.1 will be a free update for anyone who already bought the plugin, and that's the case for all our point releases. The reason I mention that is because there will be some minor changes to the UI, so if you're watching this from the near future, that's why things might look slightly different. Let's check out some isolated drums, first of all without any reverb. It's a decent drum sound, but I'd like a bit more of an atmosphere. I've got Paragon on an aux track, so my mix is on 100%, but you'll still be able to hear the dry audio as well. The plugin comes preloaded with quite a versatile selection of presets, which have all been created from our library of modelled impulse responses. You might notice there's a particularly fun sounding one here called Zeppelin Drums. Let's take that for a quick spin. I'll probably turn this aux track down at some point to make things a little more subtle, but for now loud is good because it means we can hear exactly what we're doing. The preset sounds good, nice and lively, the room seems quite large, but the decay time is short enough that the transients aren't getting lost. But I think I can make something even better from scratch, so let's try it. I've set everything back to its default values, and I'm switching to the IR panel, which is where you load in a modelled impulse response. In the file browser, I can see we've got a bathroom, a big concrete room, a car, and various other things, including the stairwell at the bottom of the list, which is what the preset was based on. This is a relatively small library of impulse responses, but it's worth noting that part of the beauty of Paragon is that it doesn't need a large IR library. The level of flexibility means you can still create practically any reverb sound without a huge library of impulse responses taking up space on your machine. I'm going to see what I can do with a big concrete room. Let's hear it as is to start with. This is quite a long reverb. If I go back to the main panel, I can see that the overall reverb time is almost 10 times as long as it was for the Zeppelin Drums preset. But I do like the character of this reverb, so I'm happy to use it as a starting point. Here on the main panel, I'm going to add some pre-delay in order to give us a little bit of daylight between the initial drum hit and the sound of the reverb itself. I'm going to significantly reduce the decay time, and I'm going to roll off a little brightness. At least to start with, I'm not going to adjust the room size because I want to maintain a similar sense of scale, even though I want a shorter reverb tail. Let's have a listen. Already this sounds so much closer to what I'm looking for. I was expecting I might need to reduce the room size slightly, but if anything, I think I'm going to increase that parameter. I want the listener to know that this is a big concrete room. Let's listen to that both with and without the dry audio signal. It's getting there. The final thing I'd like to do is sculpt the frequency response of this reverb more specifically for drums. Back on the IR panel, there are two EQ views. You're able to adjust the reverb amplitude by frequency, a pretty standard EQ, but much more intriguing, I think, is that you're able to adjust the frequency-specific decay time. This means you can adjust the reverb decay time for a specific frequency rather than simply turning that frequency up or down. In order to give more of an impression of size, I'm going to increase the decay time slightly around 400 Hz, which should give a bit more of that sort of cannon snare sound. I'm also going to reduce the decay time around 5 or 6 kHz because I don't want my cymbals to get too unruly. As I'm making these changes, you can see the spectrogram at the top of the IR panel is changing. This is a visual representation of the new impulse responses being created. In the top right, there is also a loading wheel which appears during the IR resynthesis. Let's take another listen, and I'll do a quick A/B with and without the reverb. Sounding good, I think. So that's how to build a new reverb space with Paragon. Don't forget you can download a free 15-day trial of Paragon along with all our other plugins from the NUGEN Audio website. And if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. To finish off, let's hear our new reverb sound in context with the full mix.